No. Yeah, funny. All right, here we go. I'm walking around outside today for the first time in a while. So yay. I'm going to be calm for that today because I'm on YouTube earlier and, well, not really, but hey, guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to give you a reaction to a lot of shit. But I'm going to likely talk about it. May likely be what Jimmy Dore has to say about establishment stuff. Because at the end, guess what? I may be correct when it is. Same parties fight over everything. Left, the Democrats and Republicans fight over everything and don't even realize. We're just dumping you. We're looking for, and then here's the thing. I believe the fall from grace for both parties may come. Do I believe it's not going to come? Nope. But do I believe it? Do I believe it will come? Yeah. Yeah. As long as we unite and our political beliefs, whether Democrat, Republican, whether left, right, or whatever, is put aside and say, hey, this is not I'm going to tell you the truth. This is not the Democrat or Republican Party. This is not neither of them. This is not left and right. This is a uniparty. This is, at the end of the day, an oligarchy. This is not a democracy or a constitutional republic. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this for the only time I'm telling you. It is an oligarchy. It is not just an oligarchy. It is really, it's literally this. If you're rich, you get a say. If you don't, you get nothing. A lot of it is understandingly. A lot of that is sad, but guess what? It's true. It's true. You want to know why Hollywood is getting less and less relevant, and why oh yeah, my dog, no doggos today. Well, yeah. And at the end, hey, I don't fall for either side of y'all because guess what? They both suck. They don't live my life. If they do, you're going to pay it by taxpayers, by doctors in DC. And at the end, you will keep living. They will keep living while you keep dying. And that's the thing. I'm going to surround myself with people that I do care about. But that's the thing. A lot of it is a long story because it should be. It shouldn't be the long story. So let's just see. A lot of it is an honesty. It's not just, it shouldn't. Let's go, oh yeah, we're going to use literally Alex Jones. Like, who cares? He saw it for what it is. Guess what? That's the thing. The establishment wants you chaos and you afraid on either. Yeah, but guess what? It's the same line on either side. And then no one will tell you this. I can tell you this for straight. That's why I'm looking. And it's also the end. Let's do it.
This is a policy choice to have these problems and to have us turn on each other. These are...
Yep. And it is a policy choice, not just for DC, but for you and me in the state of Louisiana. This is a policy choice. They want both parties in the state of Louisiana to fight each other and don't realize that your sons and daughters are going to leave this state every single year. And not just for that, every single year. By the time your sons and daughters leave this state, it's going to be the same way in high school, as a high school senior every year. They will leave the state. And it's simple. And it's very simple. I'm leaving for a better job and a better business. And I'm leaving for not just better business. I'm leaving because there's more money for me living outside of Louisiana, making more money than Louisiana itself. And you want to know why the cause of that? It's both political parties in the state of Louisiana. One in the state that is weak as shit, and the other is just far too strong and don't want to do anything. And then even if they do, it's too late, and then you get exposed on blogs.
Policy decisions, and where do they make those decisions? They make them in the state capitol, and they make them in Congress.
Yep, state capitol and Congress every time. This is Louisiana. The decisions are made by the state of Louisiana. Guess what? It'll likely transfer to DC because guess what? We know who got involved there for this. Senator Kennedy, guess what? My dream is to punt you out of office. But hey, doesn't matter at the end. Doesn't matter at the end because you got more money. And then guess what? I don't have enough. And then you tell me, oh, it's capitalism. Okay, here's the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. Most of my classmates in Negative Central in 2007, right now, guaranteed 85% of my graduating class will likely leave this, will most likely leave this state by now. Your graduating class at Negative Central this year, I'm telling you this, as a former student of mine, I'm just going to be honest and real. And I'm going to keep it real. Louisiana, I'm going to say this again. Your graduating class this year, Negative Central, will leave not just the parish, but some cases, the state. Because there's a reason for it all. It's basically your state legislatures, and basically who they represent you in D.C. That's it.
When Congress gets together for a session, do you think they're doing the bidding of the homeless, the mentally ill, and the addicted, and the workers? Or do you think that the session of Congress is doing a bidding of the military-industrial complex and the handful of billionaires who own our media? That's exactly.
And not just in media, guess what? Google's the same way. They're making money off of this. And then nobody's going to tell you this, but I will. The same people say, oh, there's the... we didn't do any censoring. We supported it. No, you don't. Your boy Trump basically tried many ways to censor their Hollywood stars, and as also they do the same thing, and the people on the left do the same. They're both censorious. They're both censorious, and they're both supporting censorship for the people. Let's be real. Let's be honest. It is what it is. Both parties support censorship. Go ask gamers why video game voters existed. Because guess what? And then the same line of Christine Shirley, guess what? Whatever. What Christina Jim Sterling will tell you, Video Game Voters Association didn't matter much. Because guess what? They were just a shitty video game, for those video game companies anyway. But guess what? There were people that are in the ECA that were there and fought for it. And that's the thing. They fought for it from the word go. And at the end, because, hey, video game violence is freedom of speech, guess what? Gone. But at the end, hey, guess who won? Not you. Not you. Look at how many times Christina literally got punted off. No, Christine or whatever. I forget which ones, but yeah. Look at how many times on YouTube itself that they tried to punt her off of YouTube until she got to get Patreon. Because of the original Apocalypse itself.
Exactly what a session of Congress is not there for you or your interests. No matter who you fucking vote for in Congress, they're there to screw you. And that's
the same way. And it's the same way with whoever you vote for on the left or the right, or Democrat or Republican, as president. Guess what? They'll screw you too. Sorry, but the truth is the truth. And the same line as this. People hate the truth when the lie is more entertaining. And guess what? Y'all, both Democrats and Republicans told you lies for years. And they got away with it and made their millions, leaving you with nothing.
Including AOC, Rashid Tlaib, Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, all of those people. They're there to screw.
And it's the same way, not just for what he said for the Democrats. It's the same way for Republicans. If they're going to make money, you don't. The same line is this. And it's even the same line for both parties. They both have done insider trading. But do they want to do something about it? No, because they don't want to lose that gravy train. That sweet, kissable gravy train of basically trading stocks, which it should be done in the first place while you were on committee.
You, and they're doing it because none of them give a fuck about this problem, as none of them have a solution or even proposing solutions to do anything about it. And they're going to tell you to vote for Joe Biden, who's making sure we have an open border, lower our standard of living, create problems in cities that are, and then won't fund the cities that take care of the immigrants that come. This is coming again from the top down, from the billionaire class that run the entire world. They're not only doing it in the United States, they're doing this in Europe too. They're doing this in Ireland. They're doing this. We've seen this all across the world now. This is what they're doing in France. They're doing this everywhere, Kurt.
The people coming in illegally, bum rushing the border, they'll pay a lot of money.
Pause. Hold on. This is going deep. This is going back, but I haven't even started it because I just walked into the house after walking around a few minutes. Because it's been a while.
Making sure we have an open border, lower our there to screw you, and that's including AOC, Rashid Tlaib, Jamal Bowman, Corey.
Line, the left and right must unite to defeat the oligarchy. Problem matter is who you want to vote for. The best way to do it is RFK Jr. But guess what? If he gets libertarian votes, or if he gets to be on a libertarian party, I'm gonna tell you that election. No, if you want to, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If RFK Jr. goes to the Libertarian Party for ballot access, I'm gonna tell you the truth. He will lose in a heartbeat. I would rather have him stay as an independent to literally just do this, because guess what? It will. I think people right now is like, yeah, you want to know the truth? The Libertarian Party has lost their ballot access. Literally, all of it due to the Mises Caucus on Reno a year or two ago. They're not going to win ever as long as the Mises Caucus exists. My advice to RFK Jr., stay on course and get it there. And literally do everything in your power to get full ballot access in this country. And you wonder it.
Bush, all of those people, they're there to screw you, and they're doing it because none of them give a fuck about this problem, as none of them have a solution or even proposing solutions to do anything about it. They're going to tell you to vote for Joe Biden,
they're going to tell you to vote for Joe Biden, and guess what? They'll tell you to vote for Trump too. And guess what? This is the oligarchy. This is the oligarchy of both Democrats and Republicans together, aka the Uniparty, aka the big meech, the real big meech, the real big meech. Telling you, this is the Democrat and Republican Party are the big meech of this country. And guess what? The media will join right along with it. Every fucking time.
Making sure we have an open border, lower our standard of living, create problems in cities that are, and then won't fund the cities that take care of the immigrants that come. This is coming again from the top down, from the billionaire class that run the entire world. They're not only doing it in the United States, they're doing this in Europe too. They're doing this.
You want to know why a lot of people in Mexico are joining the U.S. men's national team? Because guess what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you're in Mexico right now, and if you're a Mexican national and you're trying to get on the field to play, basically not just for Olympic play, but also potential World Cup qualifying play, you're gonna be in the bench. You're gonna be in the bench. The United States will likely put you on the pitch. That's it. That's why. The reason why the migrant crisis is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to tell you the truth. The war on drugs. The reason El Salvador had to arrest them, but we stopped crime because of the gangsters being in jail. No. You fully ended by ending the war on drugs in that country. So guess what? Now that forces Mexico and others in Central America, and even more in South America, to start waking themselves up and realizing that it is a failure. You want to know why the drug cartels make so much money in our country? Guess what? That's the demand. Supply and demand The demand is for the drug users. The supply is the cartels. You end the war on drugs, you end the supply, you end the demand. Simple.
In Ireland, they're doing this. We've seen this all across the world now. This is what they're doing in France. They're doing this everywhere,
Wait, hold
Kurt.
on. The people coming in illegally, bum rushing the border, they'll pay a lot of money to put them up in your kid's school
That's
or in
right.
a nice hotel.
That's right.
These junkies here. The ones that are from here? Right, I know. Put them in jail.
Put them in jail.
Everybody coming illegally. Right this way.
Yep.
Hey, could they stay at your
And
house?
that's even a part. Let me tell you the truth. You want to know why migrants get to our country in the first place? They got better jobs than their home countries. That's the point. They have the jobs for their home countries, or basically run the money or run the drug couriers through our country and through our states. And in the same two-party system, don't realize the war on drugs is a failure. You don't believe me? Start Googling war on drugs and COVID on Google. Don't ask me to search it. You search it. That's what happens and that's what I tell you. You do it and see it for yourself.
Imagine they're asking people to keep illegal immigrants in their house. You could shoot a homeless American for trespassing. That's your lead.
This is what happens when you're ruled by criminals. This is what.
Who still believes in this shit?
This country is over, and unless we have a real revolution, and we have to follow the lead of the truckers in Canada, and we have to follow.
And all that. And you know what's bad about Trudeau? Guess what? He's gonna lose that election. And then guess what happened with his father when he didn't do much for Canada at that time? And they said, "Oh, he was hyped. He was the best man." Yeah, he was the best man. But guess what happened? Went drop. It's the same. It's gonna be the same line in the coming elections for Canada. It'll be a conservative that'll win. And then guess what? The problem matter is, I'm gonna tell you the truth in Canada. For those in Canada, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It'll be just like what they did at the Conservative Party, just like they did that basically got Trudeau in the first place. Hold both Labour and Conservative of Canada accountable. Period.
Lead of Christian Smalls on Staten Island. We have to join together. We have to join together with Bernie Sanders voters and Trumpers and Nikki Haley voters. We have to join together.
And guess what? We can do the same shit. We all have to do the same shit. Those have been punted off. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You want to save this country? Here's what I want you to do. If you are an RFK Jr. supporter, basically, like myself, my strategy is this: talk not just to Trump voters, but talk also to college students, high school students, potentially. Because guess what? High school students right now, if you are a senior and you are 18, you can get out and vote immediately. By the time you graduate from high school, in Louisiana, guess what they want you to do? Sign your voter registration card. And also expect you to get mail to come in the door to do jury duty. That's simple. It's the same way. Please. That's the thing. For RFK Jr. supporters and RFK to do something in Louisiana, here's what I want you to do. Talk to high school students, talk to college students, talk to workers and everybody from under 35, under 45. But also, tell you the truth, you have to listen to the elderly, which is basically baby boomers. You have to be real with them. Here's the thing. Show the whole clips. Show everything that RFK Jr. has said. And I guarantee you'll convert baby boomers faster than Nelson PK. The real Nelson PK.
With Joe Biden voters, everybody has to come together to overthrow this government, because only a revolution will save us. That's how fucked up it is right now. You think voting for Joe Biden is any materially better than voting?
And guess what? The same line is, Joe Biden is the highest order of criminals. But guess what? Trumpers, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to be real with you. That very man wants to snatch your guns and take due process later. That very person, that very president, basically took millions of dollars to Saudi Arabia. I'm talking millions of dollars of weapons to Saudi Arabia to guess what they've done, which nobody talks about anymore. A Yemeni genocide. Yeah, you're killing, and guess what? Do the same people in The Hague want to arrest Saudi Arabia? No. No, they won't. They won't. And they won't arrest our country as well for the war on drugs. That is a failure. And then guess what? The same countries all support it, but don't realize they have to let people know. I mean, that's the same thing with even libertarians. You want to know to solve it? Go straight to the people all over the world that was doing the war on drugs and let them know this is a failure. You need to stop doing it.
Around him are criminalizing anybody who goes up against their establishment, whether it's Stop Cop City protesters or the January 6th protesters, entire political movements they are making criminalized, and they're throwing...
And guess what? It's already there. It's already there. You might as well criminalize the school systems that they're in, because guess what Ron DeSantis would try to do? Yeah, you're criminalizing schools. You're criminalizing the school students that want to learn something but don't realize, hey, I'm helping it. No, you're not. Here's the truth, Ron DeSantis. If you're really helping, and I'm going to tell you this again, I'm going to tell you the truth. If you're really helping parents and students in Florida, you give them a choice to actually leave public schools and or private schools and allow homeschooling and make it not just relevant to their lives, but make it to people, or make it to younger people, or make it to students that want to do so. The problem matter is, if you're really for the free market, guess what? Let's see that Florida would do homeschooling versus public and private schools. Let's see who wins. Here's the truth. You have more kids that are in private school actually are better than public or private schools students. If you're a private school student, I can guarantee you're not beating a homeschool student. Period. If you are in a public school in Florida, you're not going to beat a homeschool student. Period.
People in jail. And they're doing propaganda on you because Barack Obama got rid of the law that says that the CIA and the FBI can't do propaganda on Americans.
That's it. And that's how it got there. That's how it got there. That's how it got there. You're voting for... Yeah, you thinking Biden would be better? No. You thinking Trump would be better? No. Same shit. Every time.
Doing that. And so this is all being manufactured. Just like the Black Lives Matters were manufactured by the FBI and the CIA and the deep state. That was to make everyone feel on edge and afraid to vote for Donald Trump.
It's the same way. Make people afraid of each other, but don't even realize. The same guy Jimmy Dore will silly support for, don't even realize. Guess what? He done the same dirt too. You thinking, yeah, guess what I'm going to tell you this. Guess what both Republicans and Democrats support? Censorship. That's what they both support. And I'm talking not just presidents. I'm talking down the line. They support censorship. They're not here to protect children. They're here to just say, we'll just do it for nothing. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth in Louisiana. You thinking the digital IDs will stop porn? Yeah. Stop porn users for kids? Yeah, for that. But at the end, guess what? Doesn't matter. Unless you be honest and be real and say, yeah, you're going to have full sex education from 9th through 12th grade. Ain't going to help for shit.
And that's what that was all about. And just like the January 6th is to make sure that he could never run again. Just like they're doing to Bolsonaro in Brazil. The same thing. And then
Bolsonaro in Brazil, nobody's realizing yet. He's thinking, oh, Bolsonaro was better. No, it was not. You want to know what got Lula, what's his face, back into prime ministership in the first place? Look at Bolsonaro trying to strip off all of Amazonian land just to have a racetrack with Ayrton Senna's name to basically be the next Brazilian Grand Prix in Formula One. They're going to try to shut they're trying to beg, even before he left, he was trying to basically have a track that is basically the course of Senna's name. Guess what? The fans in Brazil and also others around the world didn't want it. Guess who still got a track in Interlagos? I mean, guess who still is going to be in the Brazilian Grand Prix, Interlagos. It is what it is. And then guess who own it? The FIA. Yeah.
Doing to stop Cop City. So if you think they're only going to do it to MAGA and they're only going to do it to Joe Biden, to Donald Trump, they're doing it to Black Urus. They're doing it to, how do you say it?
Black Uhuru is the group that
That's right.
That
Socialists,
bullshit.
Black socialists. They said they were working with Putin and Russia.
They might be an I Hate White People club. I don't give a shit.
So
We're not puppets of Russia.
That's right.
They can say
the same line. Guess what Nancy Pelosi wants to support? Yeah, we're gonna shut down even the Palestinian Gaza support, like the protests for Gaza, the protests for Palestinians. Guess what? They want to shut that down. I'll tell you why. They'll say, "Oh, they're just Russian supporters." Guess what? That's the same thing Trump would do in the same way. That's what he wanted. Just as much as Biden wants censorship to people on the left or everybody else. Guess what? He did the same. He did the same thing. Look at the same line, the same freaking line every time. The same line. I guarantee you, with the same line. Remember Brown v. ESA? Brown versus ESA or EMA? Guess getting the same people. For 2016, I'm going to tell you the truth. Both Hillary and Trump both support banning violent video games from minors. And also to take away the parents' choice to actually know what their kids want or need in entertainment. That's right. Serious. Both Hillary and Trump support violent video game bans, which at the end didn't work, didn't help, called unconstitutional in 2011. Congratulations. Now you know why we're here.
whatever the fuck they want.
And so if you don't think they'll do, and that's why I was so upset when Cornel West came on the show and pretended that fascism wasn't already in America and that somehow it would come to America if we voted for Trump. It's been here for quite a while, but people who live in ivory towers don't feel it, and they're part of the shit.
And it's the same line. And it's the same line, not just shitlid. It is the same line for either party. They're thinking, hey, they're gonna take away our jobs. Guess what? You didn't even show up for a job. You're all getting paid by Social Security, disability, and also Social Security, also widows benefits. Because guess what? They still do it. Guess what? That's the truth. They also have widows benefits. If your husband were to die, guess who's going to get most of that money still? It's also for widows. For those that are in the Christian stretch, like basically myself, God supports the widows. Your presidents from the left or right don't.
Class, so they don't. So that's why he came on the
It's
show.
not fascism
and
unless a shitman gets fired
That's
from
right,
their
that's right.
security job. The security.
That's right. It's only fascism when someone gets fired for plagiarism, and they stay.
Yeah, it's even Harvard, but at the end, guess what? No one will tell you this like I do. The reason why I didn't go to college straight up from 2007 and currently, I'm not going to college ever. If I want to get a job, guess what? I'm going straight to the trade school by Niagara Central. Yep, that's the truth. It's basically now like Bossier Parish Community College. I think their trade school or something like that. Yeah. Guess what we need in Louisiana now? Guess what we need in Natchez Parish nowadays? Barbers. Guess what? They're switching up your game. If you're an African American in Natchez Parish and you need to cut your hair, guess what? Start cutting your hair by yourself. I think I can tell you this. There's going to be less and less barbers in Natchez Parish, and I'll tell you why. For those who are African American, like my hair, Like, I have wear hair, but guess what? It is true. They're losing a lot of barbers. They're losing a lot of barbers who are African American. Guess what they're gonna get now? It's mostly for Asian folks or Africans. That's it. It'll be less and less people that know our hair. Simple.
Then they pretend it's about skin color.
Or you don't let a dildo book into third
Or
grade.
you don't let a dildo book into a third. That's right. Then it's fascism. So this is a global game being played. This again, there are no countries. There are only companies in the international transfer of dollars, and the ruling class wants you to feel on edge and afraid, and they want
It's the same line for both parties. It's the uniparty. It's the uniparty stuff. It's not just the Democrat Party. It is the Republican Party. They're all together on this uniparty. They don't care of what you believe or support. I don't even care if you are a Republican supporting ending the war on drugs, or a Democrat supporting ending the war on drugs, or even all of our issues on either side. Here's the thing: we agree with let me say this: we agree with the same things the other side does than we do when we disagree. We both agree to many issues, and many that is a problem. In some cases, many solutions. But guess what? Do the Democrats and Republicans want to do something about it? No. And that's why the same people that are on the left and right, and not just the left and right, it's the same way when it's the Democrats and Republicans. They're scared because here's the thing. Nobody's going to tell you this, but I will. RFK Jr. is basically the most, I think have a better approval rating than Trump and Biden themselves. Even crazier, the same rumors. Oh, they're going to the Libertarian Party to actually gain more ballot access. It's might, and I'm gonna tell you this: if it's might, ain't happening. I don't care. If it's could, it may happen, but if it's will, it will happen. Here's the truth when it comes to that. Ain't happening. Ain't happening when the Libertarian Party has lost all of their ballot access rights in all 50 states. Don't believe me? Talk to most libertarians that are pissed off that they're losing members, and not just losing members, losing ballot access.
Criminalize anybody who stands up against them. And this all started with Occupy Wall Street. And so when Occupy Wall Street happened, you saw that the establishment shit their pants, and they immediately turned Americans against other Americans.
Same way. Turn Americans against other Americans. And guess what? It was also the Tea Party as well. Taxing up already. Remember that? Yeah. Guess what their establishment party was doing? Literally just set up the crazies, just shut it down. Just like it did with Occupy Wall Street, to fight each other in the streets just as much as, hey, we support Occupy Wall Street, we support the Tea Party movement. Don't realize they always will show the crazy people of Occupy Wall Street, and also they will show the crazy people of the Tea Party. Guess what happened? It stopped and became irrelevant.
Yeah, culture
because
war.
Occupy Wall Street was people from the left, right, and the center coming together to oppose their oligarchy, and they immediately tried to divide and conquer. And the way they did that was they told half the people that occupy Wall Street that the other half were white supremacists and Nazis.
And nobody's going to tell you. Even Jimmy Dore doesn't tell you. It's the same way with Tea Party. They're looking at the people that we're talking about in the Tea Party Express as crazy people. But no one's going to tell you the truth that, hey, we've been taxed so much that we cannot afford shit. And that's why we do it. That's why we are here.
And that a bunch of them hated gay people, and all this shit was completely manufactured to keep us fighting about things that didn't have to do with Occupy Wall Street's concerns. And so that
is also the same way with Tea Party's concerns as well. And no one is realizing, guess what? The Libertarian Party supports the LGBT not just LGBTQ. I'm gonna keep it real. This is LGBTQ movement. They support people in that frame. Why? They want you to be free, to live your, not just be free to be yourself, but don't let anyone try to take that freedom to live your life as you see fit. That's why we definitely need a third party at this point. I'm gonna tell you even the truth about Rush Limbaugh. For most of his, even during the peak time of, they say, they just shut it down easily, or he's talking shit about feminism and all that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Look at how many times callers talk about having a third party, having the third party to basically save conservatism. Guess what? Guess what Rush Limbaugh said? No. I would rather have the conservative party. And at the end, guess what? None of it worked. I'm just telling you the truth right now in your face. Neither party doesn't support a third party movement. You know why? They would both lose. Rush Limbaugh not just Rush Limbaugh callers wanted a third party. Guess what they're saying? Nope. And now there are more people that are self-described as independent than the same year that I walked into Natchitoches Central, aka high school.
We've been fighting over ever since. Look at the studies that they've done about the mentions of racism and white supremacy in the New York Times and the Washington Post immediately after Occupy Wall Street. It's skyrocketed. Even though racism has been going down in America and we elected a black president twice overwhelmingly,
it's also the same way. And it's also, nobody's going to tell you Paul, because guess what? AKA Umar Shacks, Dr. Umar with, give me cash donations. Don't even realize he hasn't had the balls to build a school. And even if he did, he took pictures of it. It's the same shit, because guess what? He didn't do much to it. He didn't do much to build it. And guess what? When was the last time Dr. Umar talked about that school? Another pro-black actually built even a museum to black history. That's the difference between Umar and him. I forgot his name. I think it's Tariq Nasheed actually built a museum, and also I think at one point built a school. He did more in that than Dr. Umar Johnson himself. And yet this guy's, and you think Umar Johnson's pro-black because I want to support the black family. Don't realize. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Come to Natchitoches, Louisiana, and go straight to Walmart. Guarantee you're gonna see a lot of people that are in college in Northwestern State have interracial relationships. And I'm just talking black guys and white girls. Just saying. You think I'm lying? That's the truth. I've seen it. And the same people will parrot. 89% of black Americans date black women. Guess what? Does it matter? No. Come to Natchitoches. Come to Natchitoches Parish and then come to Walmart. The data doesn't match what your eyes have saw.
The mentions of white supremacy and racism have skyrocketed.
It's because there's a lot.
And yet none of them realize, guess what? They actually had a poll. Even close to this day. White folks not just support interracial relationships, but also white folks oppose bans of such. And everybody say, oh, they're just faking. They're faking. Guess what? Come to Louisiana, come everywhere else. Even come to that school. Guess what? I had an interracial relationship. At the end, it's like, hey, I don't talk about it that much, and I don't have to. Because guess what? I'm still friends with that person, but I don't talk about it. I really don't. Because there's issues on both sides about it. But guess what? I had a post and still post it. And I will likely post it on Valentine's Day. To be just basically this. This is it. I'm doing it because guess what? Live your life. and come together to solve problems, which both the Democrats and the Republicans haven't done and will never do.
More black and brown white supremacists.
And they'll call anybody a white supremacist. They called Cornel West a fucking white supremacist. They called who's that guy who ran for governor here? Larry Elder.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
And you want to know why Larry Elder lost? Guess what? The people rather want Gavin Newsom than him. Yeah, look at the people that are trying to basically recall him at that point. Guess what? Who fucking cares? Gavin Newsom survived it within 3 minutes. I'm gonna say this: 3 minutes of vote counting. He won easily against Ralph Nader. Here's the problem with even the Libertarian Party and even most parties in California, other than the Democrats. Guess what? They can't. That's the thing. Larry Elder couldn't do shit because none of them will tell him he's also a libertarian. He supports libertarian beliefs. Guess what happened? Boop. Gone. Same way in Louisiana. We had a libertarian candidate for governor at this point, or at the point a year or two ago for that election. Guess what? We don't have enough money. Gone. You had a state senate, a state legislature, wanted to be governor as well. He's a Republican, wanted to legalize marijuana. Guess what? Guess what? By the time he was gone, he was gone. He was absolutely gone from the election because they said, "Oh, yep, I'm done, and we'll support." Basically, I think it's Jeff Landry. Yep, I'm gonna tell you this. For those that say Jeff Landry is da-da-da-da, I'm gonna tell you this. Jeff Landry was a favorite from day one. Not day 101. He was favorite to get the governor seat from day one. And he was an attorney general. Day one. The problem, and that's the reason. He got money from his party, which is the GOP. But nobody will tell you. Neither side will do anything to stop out migration. Not just from the adults that are in the room, but high school and college folks too. They're not going to do shit because it makes it both. That's the truth. It is going to make them less money if they don't. If they do stop out migration. To actually make, as Move Griffon said at one point, to make Louisiana a friendly business state. And guess what? I'm going to tell you the truth, y'all. It will never be a friendly business state. Because both parties in Louisiana, the weakest party ever, which is the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, all are corrupt and all are paid off. Whenever the high school graduation is going to go on in the coming year, this year, even before summer, have a paper in hand and count in your mind how many you think are going to stay in Louisiana or in the parish they're in. Guess what? You may be right and I may be right. For me, by the time I graduated from Natchitoches Central in 2007, which is the high school of Natchitoches Parish, I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to be real. I'm going to be very, very real. Very, very real it is indeed. Half or 60% of the class left. I'm going to guarantee you, I'm 36 years old, I'll be 37. Well, not 37, no, about 30. Yeah, 36 years old, 37 in June, Lord willing. It'll be 80 to 85%. Because they're not coming, and it's the same line. They won't come back. and nobody will talk about it. Nobody will care. And I can guarantee you that this year's class, Niagara Central, Lakeview, St. Mary's, guess what? They're leaving. They're going to leave the state. If they were to make to Northwestern State, they'll leave when they get their 4 or 8 year degrees.
Call him. It doesn't matter if you're black.
Vivek is a white supremacist.
Vivek also. They'll call anybody a white supremacist. Because that's the only tool they have.
They'll write an Atlantic piece all about how this is a real thing.
So this is the game that's being played, and people need to wake up to this game. And as soon as you go down the identity politics road, and that's why I was so hard on Cornel West when he came on this show, because he ought to know better. And if
it's the same line, left and right must unite to defeat the oligarchy. Don't you realize, Mr. Dorr, both parties are the oligarchy? Because guess what? Both parties support not just the failed war on drugs, just about everything that we know good and well will not work. The same, Carlin, shout out to her, told basically conservatives straight up that they have to defeat socialism, which is, it is not a party. It's like she said, it's not left and right. It's not rich or poor. It's not neither that. It is literal government versus socialism. And at the end, they will win because guess what? They won't do it. They won't solve that problem because if they were to let's say, yeah, we're gonna stop socialism and everything, and actually help millions of kids and people in this country, and also to basically have reasons like, hey, I want to teach them reading, writing, and arithmetic, or whatever. Who cares? I already know the school systems suck because I went there. I've been there for 12 years. The best things about going to be an elementary school student or even a high school student is to talk to people. Nothing more. I still hate going to school. If I were to go to college, it's the same shit. Wouldn't matter to me.
Didn't know better. Shame on him, but he did know better. And he just doesn't have the courage to say what's really happening in America. He doesn't have the courage to call out the liberal class the way he ought to. And he wants to pretend that you're...
And it's the same line on even both parties. They won't call out, even for those that support Trump, they won't call out the fact that, yeah, he supports gun control. The same people in the GOP and conservatives that call out the Democrats for the very same shit. Your candidate for president supports gun control. Start admitting it.
And people like him, and I don't want to make it about Cornel West, but he wants to make that, just like people like him in his liberal ivory tower class, want you to be afraid of your neighbor. They want you to blame your neighbors the fascists. You got to be afraid of MAGA and these political movements. No, you got to be afraid of the handful of billionaires that control the deep state, the FBI, the CIA, and every session of Congress. That is
not just every session of Congress, Jimmy Dore, all of the media as well. I'm gonna tell you this. They don't. Guess who they're. Here's the truth. Guess who they're actually. Guess what the media. Guess what our parties, both Democrats and Republicans, are actually scared of. RFK Jr. That's right. They're scared because they know that if he wins, it's a wrap for them both. And even if RFK Jr. doesn't win at the end, guess what? People will realize why they're not getting a third-party candidate that will win anytime soon. And at the end, we'll see why not just young people don't trust this country and believe that the American dream is faker than fake titties. You will see it in real time.
Working against you. That's who we need to, and we need to overthrow the goddamn government. Literally. We need to do it. I say do it peacefully, and it can be done. And we had to
voting for Trump. That is the
follow. They can't have Brexit. They can't have Trump voting. They can't have any of that. And the way they do this is control us, is through narrative control and getting us to hate.
And it's the same line. It was narrative control on RFK Jr.'s part as an independent candidate as well, Mr. Dorr. I'm telling you. It is all of that. They don't want Trump or Kennedy or even anybody, or even Biden for that matter, or even libertarians. I'll tell you why. I'm gonna say this. It is not the two Republican parties. It is not a political party. It is a party. It is a corporation. It is a corporation for both Democrats and Republicans. Guess how many times they get off when they get off on Congress? They beg donors to give them money on both parties. You think I'm joking?
Each other and be afraid of each other and don't fall for it. And that's been the message of the Jimmy Dore Show for a long time, that the left and the right, we are not each other's enemies. We have more in common than it divides us, and we share a common enemy, and it's the same common enemy we had at Occupy Wall Street. It's the billionaire class that have been screwing us for the last 50 or 60.
Yeah, and that's why I like him. It is not the left and the right we should fight each other. It is not anything else. It's not even that. It is the oligarchy, and it's basically the oligarchy. The real unit party, the biggest meech of the meech. The big meech. I'm serious. They are the big meech. We agree with a lot of stuff. You think I'm crazy? We agree that we have issues, all of that. We agree with a lot of stuff that we do disagree. Guess what? War on drugs is a failure. You think I'm joking? Go read, I think, the paper. I don't believe it's New York Times or whatever. That showed, literally just show you that there were, by the time the pandemic ended, that there were more drug users. There are people that are actually getting clean from drugs, and then guess what? They stop using drugs. 1 million people stop using drugs, but guess what? Gain another 1 million back. Both. I'm going to tell you this for all people, whether left, right, or center, or whatever. The war on drugs was a failure because guess what? The less people, hey, we're clean, and they got better with it. But there were more. But they gain a new set of drug users the same way. The demand wasn't gone, and the supply didn't go either. It's just the same way when it came to prohibition. The supply was the same. Yes, and here's the thing. They beat all the bottles down just for propaganda and shit. But at the end, guess what? The speakeasy stayed, and everything else stayed. Until they had to do until the people in our country and everybody had to do something to shut prohibition down for good. But here's the sad thing to tell you. Even if prohibition was gone federally, guess what? There are a lot of states that are still dry to this day.
Years. You don't live in
and in some cases, counties and parishes that are still dry to this day.
democracy. Democracy hasn't been on the ballot since, 1960. You live in an oligarchy, and that was proven over a decade ago by the Princeton study. Democracy's not on the ballot. Liberty's not on the ballot.
Democracy's on the ballot. No, it ain't on the ballot, Mr. Dore. You're right. It ain't democracy's on the ballot. It ain't even the constitutional Republicans on the ballot. Even during the time, hey, we're fighting for Citizens United. And then you realize, guess what? When Citizens United was constitutional at the end, guess who will not support you? Guess who is losing support? The American people. They got more money from donors than anyone. Democrat and Republicans have support donors. Nothing more. They don't care. I had a person that I met on a mental health group when I was dealing with diabetes. Well, before I was dealing with diabetes. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the all truth. When there's an issue going on for disabilities and stuff, guess what? Tell you straight up to the face. It would take a million people to call to the legislature and all their legislatures and all of them that are represented. It took a million people to listen to that to the people who are disabled and others and people that are not even that. There's a million people to literally voice their concerns. It shouldn't take a million to listen to the American people. You should listen to the people, not a donor, not millions of dollars of donors. That's why we do this shit. That's why Louisiana, even before this election, top 5 states. You want to know what California, New York, and Louisiana, Massachusetts all have in common? They all have lost millions of people. And it's not, and the same people say, oh, it's the fault of Bel Edwards. No, he is basically a governor. Most of the legislature, majority red. They didn't do shit, and you wonder why.
Oh, ballot. The ballot has been hand chosen by a couple of billionaires who run everything, and that's a fucking fact. And so it's time for everybody to quit their pettiness and their stupid fights over bathrooms.
Stop culture wars.
Stop your culture.
Because you don't have a culture.
Stop your
Troop. Boom. Stop your culture wars, because guess what? It ain't gonna get people to go on your side ever. Guess what? I'm telling you the truth. They'll celebrate that Target is gone and nobody's gonna sell their shit. Here's the thing. No one cares. Target is still here. Same thing, mad at the same people that are want the eye protect children from porn. Don't even realize, guess what? We still have VPNs, and guess what? You will still don't support sex education to actually, basically, and not just have sex education, but also abstinence as well. Not just in schools, because we stopped doing that for some reason, because it's basically unconstitutional. That is really religious based, but guess what? Basically, no need for, actually, good news, no reason for a religious base of that. Guess what? Have your own club. Don't even need to be sponsored. Don't even need to be supported, basically, by the administration of your school. Guess what? Do it wherever. Do it and have a club. Have a club and it works. That's it. There are times you have clubs that actually starts very unaffiliated to a school. Not joking. See you at the poll. Guess what? Religious based program. Guess what? Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Doesn't matter if you're left or right. Guess what? Come to the poll and pray. Every year, I think September, either August or September, every year, slipped in through sometimes. Took prayer to get there.
White
You don't got no
supremacy.
culture.
You got no culture. Stop your screaming about white supremacy and racism and Nazis. There's real Nazis running things, and they're called the WEF, and they're called the billionaire class. And
That's the point, brother. Guess what? You have no culture. Period. You're going to vote for the same people every fucking year. Because guess what? Hold on. Yes! All right, let me do something real quick. What is it, Mama? Go to sleep, Mama. We know you're doing it. Mind your business. All right. I'm doing a stream, and Mama doesn't know it, so I'm just going to ignore her for that.
complete control. You live in a security state already.
Security.
Every phone call, text, and email you send is already being collected by the government. They'll already can call you a terrorist and throw you in jail with indefinite detention. We're living on a Liberty View from somewhere around the 1100s in this country. So the idea that somehow fascism might come to this country is a fucking joke.
Hey, remember when
And good news is already there on both sides. They're trying to say, "Oh, we gotta fix the cult. We gotta bring the culture to people. Our culture." No, you have men that aren't dating anymore, mostly virgins. Why? A lot of people say, "Oh, it's just red pill shit." No, it's because I'm gonna. All right, thank you. And yeah, here's the truth. I was a virgin ever since 2003, and I'm not joking. This was governor's program on abstinence days. I was a virgin from day one. Guess what? I was a virgin. Guess what made it happen? Governor's program on abstinence with even students, actual seniors that actually were going to leave that year, or we're going to leave this year, that year in 2003. Guess what? Not joking. That's it. That was my influence.
Islamic terror, and I remember these bastards thought they could tell.
Did it for 2 years. 2 years. Last 2 years was Key Club, but guess what? Still there. People don't realize men are being screwed over. And you have women that are being screwed over too, fighting each other, don't even realize that, hey, this isn't a gender war. This isn't none of cultural war. This is none of it. This is basically we the people, whether black, white, rich, poor, rather black, white, rich, poor, all the way down. Here you go. I'm on stream. Sorry, but that's the thing. Black, right, rich, poor, left, right, center. Guess what? Tell you the truth, straight to your face. Guess what? Shut up, mama. All right, let me pause for a minute. I'll be back. What is it? All right. More men are being virgins. Yep. Guess what? Same shit. Yeah, more women are not single, but guess what? We're fighting each other, whether black, white, rich, poor, or anything, and it doesn't work. Because the reason is, dating has made a lot of shit hard. You know what? I'm a guy in the autism spectrum. Been there since I was 2. It is hard to date as that type of person because you feel like you don't know what you're doing.
Was what we could say, and if we could draw a guy. Remember that?
Yeah, remember that?
They're going to press us. They're going to put a burqa on the women. And what? They have more freedom to express themselves than us now.
That's right.
There's way more forbidden Salman Rushdie stab me words
Well, look what they
than
did.
any Arab country here.
Look at what they're doing to this. I can't express.
Someone try to stab Dave Chappelle like he's Salman Rushdie.
Yeah. Look what they're.
Same line. I'll be back. What is it? All right, let me take it. 140 over 69. Yes. All right. 140 over 69. I'm on stream right now because I wanted to do it without me streaming. All right. For those that are car lovers, guess what? You want to know why your favorite Nissan Skyline R34 is $120,000 to $160,000? The 25-year rule is hot garbage. I'm going to say this again. Hot garbage. Only reason it started in the first place was Mercedes-Benz of North America. And wanted people to actually buy their cars instead of importing them from the source, which is Stuttgart, Germany. And also for importers everywhere in Europe and Japan and everywhere else. That is why the saddest part of it all and the goodest part we could do to fix this is also to end the 25-year rule permanently. And if for those that want to buy a car outside the United States, aka from Japan or Europe or anywhere else, you should get it whenever. And not just you should get it whenever, you should get it.
Do it. That's right.
With a gun knife.
Yeah. Look what they're doing to the Stop Cop City protesters. They're literally criminalizing them because they're opposing the police state. And they're using the same RICO statute, the same grand jury they're using to go after Trump and MAGA, they're using to go after those people. When are people going to...
Again, it's the same line. Guess what? They wanted to go after people on the left, too. Guess what? David Pakman got smoked out twice. David Pakman got smoked out by TikTok and was banned and had to do it all over again because they did it. Did it because of also right-wing folks as well. Wouldn't work for shit. Wouldn't work for shit because it didn't help shit. Because at the end, yeah, you want to know why Clapper is winning. You want to know why Rumble is winning. You want to know, but the problem with Rumble right now is you're not getting normies outside of red pill or politics. If you're having normies outside of Rumble, outside of politics and red pill stuff, I can get an example. If you were to have Black Flags Matter, which is a NASCAR tuber that covers the sport, and then have the even awesome documentaries, NASCAR Man, everything else, NASCAR Man with 3 before Sunday. Guess what usually happens? You think NASCAR won't shut it down? Oh, they don't, but in some cases they do. They were close to doing that last month. I'm serious. They got copyright strikes for the game.
Didn't get that, and he was somehow dumber than me, which was a real embarrassment to him and his reputation. It wasn't an embarrassment to me, and I hope he makes up for it.
Oh, Fannie Wilson's also using RICO charges. Her affairs blowing up the Trump thing because she sounds like she sucks. She sounds like she's a real.
Yeah, they just say we'll just show them because she's kids, or not kids. She's actually having sex with grown men during a workout, and they don't even realize. They're just taking revenge for themselves. They don't even realize, guess what? They got a RICO charge literally on the YSL gang. Guess what? Guess what I'm telling y'all, folks? Listen to me. If you are a Trump supporter, or a Biden supporter, or even currently, well, not even Kennedy supporter yet, I targeted to both of y'all right now. I just targeted to both of y'all, which is Trump and Biden, but also folks that support Ron DeSantis, folks that support Vivek, folks that support I forgot the female's name, but it's also, folks, let me look and make sure, because we're bored today. We're just gonna waste our souls. For those that are Nikki Haley voters, and so on and so forth. And if you're ages of under 35 and 45, and now I can tell you this, and also for baby boomers, because I'm going to tell you the truth. The mainstream media doesn't care. They're making $20,000 to think that they're telling the stories when they're not. The same line as Fox News. If you're still a Fox News viewer that is on the right, or MSNBC that is on the left or whatever, join Robert F. Kennedy. That's the thing. And I'm going to tell you why it should be that. And I'm going to tell you this. You want to know why it should be? Everybody that is of political mind, soul, and spirit should vote for RFK Jr. I could give you one. Hold on. What is it? Nope. I'm coming. Mind your business. Hold on. I'm busy, mama. Please sit. Whatever. Whenever I ate. Mind your business.
Sack of shit.
Okay, well, I made my speech. I hope everybody gets it. That's the message of this. Your enemy is not your neighbor. Your enemy is being crushed by the same oligarchy that you're being crushed by, and they want you to blame it on your neighbor and be afraid of your neighbor and beg for authoritarianism. They can fix homelessness at the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
They can.
And you know what? I can add this. If they want car makers to actually defend their products, guess what? If I was president, I would snap that 25-year ruling on the executive order. Get it done. Just snap that finger. Done. Start having GM and Ford and Stellantis fight for their own cars. And not just for those that are even for Toyota or Honda. Guess what? They only got it in and you use literally the same. And guess what? They all imported it, but don't even realize they all got the bodies that are from Honda and Toyota all the way to their factories, and they'll build it there, and they'll literally just use it for US, and it's basically a USDM product, not a JDM product. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I will end that 25-year rule, and for those that want to buy a JDM car or US or an EDM car, guess what? I will. If I am president, for me, I will have it banned, done. If you're really for free market capitalism, guess what? Let Ford, GM, and Stellantis basically defend themselves and actually compete. If you don't compete, you deserve to lose. Simple as that.
Make sure you have health care at the snap of a finger. They make sure everybody in Israel has health care. Yep. They make sure everybody in Ukraine has health care. They just won't give you health care because then they can't control you. Because then you could actually leave a job. You could actually organize. You could actually
and also be a YouTuber. You want to know why you have more anti-MLM YouTubers right now? Because they're telling the truth for what it is. MLM is a Ponzi, aka pyramid scheme. That's right, a Ponzi and pyramid scheme. Period. The problem matter is because lobbyists have come in from Amway to make it an actual legal business, you're going to have less and less people.
They'll never give it to fucking place down and overthrow the government. Hey, come see us do a live.
Again, does it matter? Yeah, and there's a good thing about it. We can even start it in Louisiana. Start in Louisiana itself. Pull off the biggest strike in existence. Have every student in high school, college, and guess what? You have teachers that are voting age, that are similar voting. On a part of a voting class, guess what? Same for elementary school teachers and everybody else. To bring not just their parents together, but their kids together, and each other's, and even teachers together. And then make it even crazier. Not even joking. Just make it even crazier. Have small businesses strike, and then guess where we all go straight to? And go straight to the throat, which is Louisiana legislature. Because that's why the problem matter is they're not going to do what they should on either side of the aisle. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not going to get a business friendly state. You're not going to end all. You're not going to get. I'm gonna say this. You're not going to end out migration. You're not gonna have students. You're gonna have students. Yeah, I was listening to Moon McCall at one point. I think University of Lafayette. They had to. They added taxes, or they added like a fee for the athletic department. I'm gonna tell you the truth, right? I'm gonna tell you this: every college and university, from Louisiana to anywhere else, is basically now an athletic. No, not saying this. Is basically now a sports academy, and an athletic realm. It is basically a sports academy. A sports academy to base, if you're a basketball or football player, a sports academy to go to the NFL, and a sports academy to go to the NBA. I even said it before that, and that's what's going to happen. That's it. That's it, folks. That's the thing. To bring people together, we got to bring massive amounts of people together. Those that actually agree with us and really say, hey, what is going on in Louisiana is absolute stupidity. And guess what? Shake hands, dap, and go straight to the throat of the people. Go straight to the throat. It's not each other. It's not even the mayor's office of this state, or any parish or any city of this state. That is not that. We're going straight to the people. We're going straight to the problem, which is one thing: the Louisiana legislature, nothing more. The problem in Louisiana is simple as it can be, and it will always be simple as it can be. Outmigration, the economy, healthcare, school system. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you voted for the GOP or even a Democrat in Louisiana, it is game over. It's been that way ever since I literally took politics seriously, basically in 97 or 98. It is what it is. And to me, in my house, I'll keep it 100, and I'll keep it real. I'll keep it real till the day I die. Just saying. Just saying. Woo, just saying. And for that, I bid adieu. And for that, in 1 minute and 19 seconds of this stream, I bid adieu so I can eat supper. Because I'm dealing with type 1 diabetes now, and I gotta take it seriously. Love y'all. Goodbye.